Hello, welcome back. So in the second part of this series, I will talk about more of the tools that we are using in the startup environment. And there's a high chance that when you join a startup, that you will be using most of these tools. So in the first video, we've learned that where to get the work from, and also how do we give our update into the team, and how are we dealing with our meetings, and how to contribute into the software project as a software developer. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how to communicate inside the company with the other members of the startup. And usually most of the startups are using something called Slack. So if you have used Discord before, this is kind of similar but less features inside it. For those of you who doesn't know what Slack or Discord means, these are kind of like messenger applications where you have different channels for different topics like development, like products, or in general to speak to the entire company, as well as DMs or group chats. When you need to reach out to any kind of colleague or you want to collaborate with them, you can just directly message them using these platforms. And it's faster than email, so you can track and history of the conversations as well, which means Slack also shares this information with your employers. So whoever owns the startup, whoever runs the startup, has also access to your conversation history, by the way. Just to let you know, before you type some shit about your boss on his Slack channels, think twice. And that's pretty much it for Slack. It's basically a communication tool that you can communicate with your colleagues. You can also integrate with other applications like Giphy, which is the most common used one. So you can send your colleagues some memes. And also you can connect Jira, the work tracking app that we talked about in the first video. And also you can connect GitHub, all the other services that you're using inside your startup. And then when something happens, let's say someone made an update in the ticket, you can create these rules that everyone in the group might be notified with that. And it's a good feature to have. So like sometimes you see something is deployed and then immediately sends a message on Slack and shows that everybody that there is this feature has been released, or it's in the release queue right now. Or you can connect it to your error tracking application, where any kind of error or anything that happens in your application, that it can notify you on this communication platform. And the second thing that you will be interacting a lot, especially if you're a product person and you're a software developer, and this one for the designers as well, that is a designing software. The most common one is currently Figma. So everybody's using Figma because it's online and it has like amazing collaboration tools. There are these Adobe XD and all the other ones that I don't know about, but the most of the companies that I have worked for or worked with, they are using Figma. And with Figma, you can create these designs. So when you are working on a ticket, when you're working on a task, that you will have something to refer to. So this is already planned out version of the product that designer and the product person comes together, sits down, and then they're designing this based on the data that they're gathering from the users or maybe potential customers. So they are creating these concepts, and then they're creating these Jira tickets that we mentioned in the first video again. Then you sit down as a developer and then you take this task and then you see the reference to the Figma design as well. Then you sit down and then you know exactly what to do. In an ideal scenario, there are some startups that I have worked for, they didn't have any designers, or they were not using any kind of design software. So you were pretty much, on your own when it comes to designing these kind of things. That can happen as well. If it's a small startup, that there's a highly chance that they did not have any designer, or maybe they hired someone from Fiverr. So you just have like a basic design that you need to implement stuff by yourself. So having like a bit of a design mindset, it also helps in startups. So we said that designers and the product managers are coming together and deciding what the application is going to look like based on the data. And the question is, where does this data come from? Usually, instead of them going one by one, which happens in the early stages of startups, but let's say we have a already matured startup that it has multiple employees that working, they can pay salaries, and then they're generating some kind of revenue, and they have some amount of customers as well. So what you do as a software developer, there are these platforms that allows you to track user activity. When I say tracking user activity, it doesn't mean that there's someone watching you through your camera or something like that. It's nothing that fancy. what it is just you plant these middlewares into some of the buttons, some of the views, and some of the things in your application. So every time when someone clicks or when someone tries to use it, you will have a clear idea what they're trying to do and which one of the features that they're using the most. And you would have this educated guess where the direction of the product is going. So you can say that, we have this 10 feature and only 3 of them is being frequently used by our users. So let's get rid of all these 7 and then let's keep and focus on these 3 main features. So that's how they're making these decisions. And then based on that, they're changing the direction of the product as well. So then they're creating the design, and then this design break down into this Jira task, that subtask that is ready to be given to developers, and developers will take this and then create into real functioning product. So this is the episode 2 of Day in the Life of a Startup. And then in the next episode, I'm thinking how to start this process from scratch, how to work out from ideation into a real product. And I will give the example of my own product that I'm building currently right now. It is a social productivity app. It's kind of like TikTok crossed with Duolingo. In this application that I'm building, there are challenges that you can participate. And as you participate these challenges, like reading a book or running every day, or like exercising or drinking water even, we have that some reason, and users can create their own. What you do is you take a picture or a video of yourself doing that thing as a proof that, hey, I have run today. At the end of my run, here we go, I'm sweaty, I have run. Here's my Apple Watch that I have run this many kilometers or like this many miles. And then you upload this. So other people who are participating in that challenge, same as you, are doing the same exact thing. And then you have this feed where you can watch and get inspired by other people also doing, or feel this community. So you would want to do that thing over and over again. And this is the application that we have built, and it's on beta testing right now. We have this test flight link that I will put it in the description. And also for the questions and collaboration, we also have a Discord channel. I will link that in the description as well. If you want to join, we have around 40 people right now. So that would be great if you want to join. I just recently started doing this weekly meetings. So we're gonna have these voice channels and everything. So if you want to join, there are all the links in the description, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.